Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, let's talk about the latest immigration news. The news broke last night, actually afternoon, late afternoon. I was already done, so I couldn't, come back and just talk about it. But we have to talk about it, okay? Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Good morning, good morning. How are you? Good morning, good morning. How are you? Good morning. How are you? I'm all right. Blessed. How are you? How you feeling this morning in the DC area? You are from the Maryland area, right? So, how you feeling? It looks like the weather is good. It's just that we just have bad news, so we need to report. Um, Trying to wait for people to get in. Let me know in the comment. Questions, just put it in the comment so we can try to talk about what's really going on at this point. Yes, not good at all. What's going on? Question, put it in the comment. I'll come back to it. We just want to talk about what's going on. Parole in place for spouses of U.S. citizens is dead. Basically, the judge decided yesterday. The judge decided it's illegal. They're not gonna go with it. It's done pretty much. So now the question becomes: is this administration going to appeal? Uh, Most likely they might appeal, but the thing is, this administration is over in 2 months, okay? And the Trump administration coming back in January 2025, they are not going to follow through with it, the appeal, because we're going to have a new um, DHS secretary, like Department of Homeland Security. We're going to have a new person there as a director or the secretary, basically. Mallorca is going to be gone because we're going to have a new administration. So yeah, pretty much this thing is just done. What exactly people can do? People can just go ahead and start filing the form I-601A, the waiver of unlawful presence. That's what I'm going to be talking about this morning. Okay. Yeah, it's just like this. I'm blaming this administration. Why? Because they could have started this program in the second year, so that way with litigation they can follow through with litigation and you know come up with a resolution. But they waited until the last minute to do it. So now it's over. It's just like sometimes you wonder if the people really want to do something or they don't, because it's always politics. Um, yeah, it's just like so disappointing from this administration. They could have done this thing earlier than last minute. Maybe they thought they were going to win and continue to fight for it for the next 4 years, but they didn't win. So now it's over. This parole in place is dead. That's it. People who got approved earlier, those are the ones who probably going to get it if they're, I don't know if there what's going to happen to the green card applications at this point, but we just know that it's done. It's dead. Okay, we have a 75 opinion, the decision, 75 pages. I'm not going to go over it, but if somebody want to read it, they can go ahead and read it, but it's just like it's done. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's get some questions here. I-480 has pending for long. Medical form was sent 1 month ago. See no update. Yeah, people wait. You know, people wait even for 3 years, right, to just get a solution. People who don't want to wait, they file a lawsuit. That's a solution. Really, if you really looking for a solution, that's a solution. But if you cannot afford that, you just wait and follow through with the congressman. That's all you can do. Good morning. Good morning. Grand rising to you. Grand rising to me. Thank you. Hola, Alosungu. How are you? How you feeling this morning? We got bad news for a lot of people, but you know what are we gonna do? We continue the fight. That's just how it works in this immigration. Sometimes you have good news, sometimes you have bad news. So unfortunate that this administration, they should have done it earlier, right? If they had done it in their second year in power, uh, they could have followed through with those lawsuits, this litigation. But now that they're living in 2 months, even if they appeal, it's just like, first of all, I don't even think they're going to appeal. And then even if they do, who's going to follow through with it? Because in 2025, this other person comes to power with a new administration, with a new DHS secretary. So it's just not gonna, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you just have to wait, love. Really, 1 month after RFE, it's not bad. People, really, 1 month, it's not bad. It's not even 1 month because you file your RF, you send your if I don't mistake, you send it on October 10. So November, it's not even 1 month because November 10 is in 2 days. So, uh, and then the congressmen too, they don't even respond. They respond within 30 days. So every 30 days you should follow up, and then at some point you're gonna get your response. That's what people do. Every 30 days you follow back. You follow. That's it. Um, Yeah, people, the case has been pending for 4 years, but the vow application got approved. Like, isn't it the vow application got approved 1 year ago? So after the vow application get approved, that's when they start working on the green card application. So you just have to basically have patience, keep following up every 30 days, and eventually at some point somebody's going to respond. That's just how it works. So, okay. There's nothing else you can do about it. It's except for following up. What else? What else? Okay. Yeah. So anybody has a question here? Because those other questions, it's the same people. We already answered their questions. It's just a matter of waiting for them. We just want to get to new questions. If you have a new question and you're trying to figure out what you can do, let me know in the comments. But other than that, Okay. Do you think I should seek congressional help for EOR to respond? It's 90 days, no response. For which EOR? Is your case at BIA or immigration court? Because my understanding was you already got the motion, the PD request granted, you joined the motion with ICE, and then they send it to BIA. Yeah, BIA, there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do about it. Just wait. 98 days is nothing. They do like 9 months to respond. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Nobody can save you from it. Even if you file motion to expedite, it even says on the website they don't respond to it. Yeah. So yeah, just don't even bother to do anything about that. Sometimes some people file motion to expedite if somebody's like, let's say somebody, your spouse is the one who, let's say you want to adjust to a spouse, right? And then the spouse is sick, terminally sick, and probably, let's say the doctor say they have cancer and they might die in 90 days. That's when you can do the expedite. It's like a matter of death or life. You can file a motion to expedite for the judge to look at your case. But the thing with that too, it says on their website that they're not going to respond to it. They're just going to look at it. If they feel compelled to do something, they'll do, but you never get a response from them to saying that, okay, we agree with your motion to expedite or anything. So with BIA, don't even bother. Since ICE already joined the motion, it means that ICE agree. Most likely, I've never seen a case where ICE agree and the judge disagree. In my experience, at least 95% of the time, once ICE agrees to join a motion and terminate removal, the judge most likely will agree. So there's nothing to worry about. It's just a matter of when they're gonna do it, when somebody's gonna look at your case and sign. So because they have a lot of cases, and now nobody has his priority over there, so they're gonna get to your case. Sometimes you might be surprised, you're lucky, they might get it in the next month. But the latest news I have from other people, even my colleagues, it's taking like 8 to 9 months for them to respond. So for those joint motion, for the appeal, it's even taking like 2 years, 4 years. So yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, don't worry about it. Forget it. Okay, let's go on Instagram. Then I'll come back to YouTube. We have questions here on Instagram. I like to petition for my wife. She's overstayed her H1. Is it a good time to do it? Is there a risk of getting deported? You want a petition as what? Spouse? If the spouse is a U.S. citizen, and it's a valid marriage, bona fide marriage, then yes, you should petition, provided that you can sponsor, right? There's proof of sponsorship. Yeah, like the income is correct, everything is correct. You should, I think you should petition for the wife. Yeah, overstaying. She came with a H1 visa. Overstaying. When a person marries a U.S. citizen, then that overstay, unlawful presence, is forgiven for spouses of U.S. citizen. So yeah, if you're in a valid marriage, the answer is short, right? It's simply yes, you should petition. I don't see why you shouldn't. I don't see any apparent bar, right? I don't see why you shouldn't petition. By the way, I encourage you to petition, and I encourage you to schedule your consultation, so we can petition for your wife. And why you didn't petition long time ago? Right? If you're a citizen, why you never petition for your spouse? All right? It's like, don't make sense. Okay, let's go here. How long it takes to get travel document after applying? I don't know. You're gonna have to check the processing time online. Yeah, just check the processing time. It gives you an estimate. At least you have an idea, an estimate. Probably 9 months, probably 8 months, probably a year, depending on where your case went. Yeah, just check on estimate online. Hi, hi, Uri. How are you? How you feeling? Okay. Oh, you just became one. Oh, okay. And we're restricted. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Yeah, we do offer loans here, right? If you want a petition for your spouse, we do have loans available to qualify for it. Yeah, just schedule a consultation so we can talk about it. Okay. Let me put the consultation link right there. Yeah, I just put my consultation link there if you're interested in scheduling the consultation so we can talk about how you're going to petition for. When Trump comes to take over, our application is going to affect? I don't think so. If you qualify, you qualify. So I don't think so. Your application is more just about when they're going to look at it. Sometimes when they have too many applications, they don't really care. So your job is to follow up every 30 days. That's it. And eventually somebody's going to get tired, sick and tired, and look at your application. That's all. We had a person here too, right? Olonkule. She's live today. Yeah. Olankule Jempeji. She was here too, complaining. It's taking too long. It's taking too long. It's taking too long. I keep telling her, you just have to follow up. And then finally she got it. Yeah, it's just USCIS. It's government. We're dealing with government, okay? It's just they move slow. That's all. Some people are lucky they get it right away. Some people it just takes sometimes. Yeah, your job is just try every 30 days following up. Yeah, by the end of this year, probably you should get something. If not, early next year, you should get something. You're welcome. You're welcome, Sketchiski. You're welcome. PIP is over. Yeah, PIP is over. You didn't hear about it. Last night the decision came. Because I was talking about today, I'm gonna come here to talk about it. If they're gonna lift the stay on it. But last night the judge in Texas came with the decision. He said that it's illegal. It's dead. It's done. It's over. So now the question becomes: will the Biden administration pretty much appeal? Most likely they might, but the thing is, who's going to follow through with the appeal? Because this administration is over in 2 months. Like, yeah, pretty much 2 months. They're done. So they're not going to follow through with that, and the Trump administration is never going to follow through with it. This is over, really. What exactly people can do? Yeah, we go back to the way it was, right? With the form I-601A. Yeah, applying for I-601A. So let's talk about I-601A, by the way, because that's the solution, quite frankly. So yeah, I-601A. Okay, I-601A. Provisional unlawful presence waiver. This is for people who came to the United States into without inspection illegally. This is that it's basically certain of even people who they didn't come they didn't come illegally, but they marry lawful permanent resident, and not to mention that they are unlawful presence. So with lawful permanent residence, you cannot, if you're not within lawful status, those people too, sometimes they use it if they don't want to wait, or if they want, if the spouse has been denied citizenship, so they can use this form as well. So certain immigrant visa applicant who are relative of U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident might use this application to request a provisional waiver of the unlawful presence ground of inadmissibility. So you may file the application. If you are physically present in the United States, you have to be physically present here, at least 17 years of age at the time of filing, have an immigrant visa case pending with the DOS, are the principal beneficiary of an approved I-130 petition or an approved I-140, have been selected to participate. If you have been selected to participate in DV lottery, visa pending. You have to have an immigrant visa pending with the Department of State. Basically, you have I-1 approved, okay? Because why would you have a visa pending? That's because you have a I-130 approved, or I-140 approved, or I-360 approved, okay? And you've been selected by the Department of, or if you've been selected by the DV lottery, are the spouse of child or principal beneficiary for an approved immigrant visa petition. Those are the unlawful presence. More than 180 days but less than 1 year during a single stay, or 1 year or more. Okay. You are not eligible for this if you do not meet all the requirements listed here. If you don't meet the requirement listed here, you are not eligible. So basically, you have to have one I-130 approved first before you file for this one. You have an I-4. You are not eligible for unlawful presence waiver if any of the following apply to you. If you do not meet the requirement here, those requirements here, if you don't meet it, you are not eligible. If you have I-485 application or just started spending with USCIS, you are not eligible. If you are in removal proceedings, you are not eligible unless your removal proceedings are administratively closed and have not been placed back on the department. Back on the calendar. Okay, if you have order of removal, it's not going to work. So if you are subject to an administrative final order of removal, yeah, you are not eligible for that. Okay, that means that you should apply for the form I-212. Okay. Yeah. if you are subject to this one, voluntary departure, you are not eligible. And if you fail to establish that you're lawful, because you have to have a qualifying relative in order for this to work, right? And you have to establish that your lawful permanent resident, spouse, or parent will experience extreme hardship if you are refused admission. Should be able to prove that. That's why we apply for it when you're physically here. Okay. The Form I-601 is a standalone application. You can only file it by itself. If you file it with anything else, it will be rejected. Yeah, so this is a standalone application. Okay. So this is one of the solution, basically, if somebody, because the PIP is dead, basically. That could be a solution. Let me stop right there. Yeah, let's go back. If someone came the legal and have TPS married, that person has to make their second entry. If you have TPS, you should go out and come back so that you can have a legal entry. Otherwise, you're still not gonna just start it. Yeah. Stevenson DS, PIP is dead. So basically, entry without inspection, you cannot adjust status regardless. You have to, if you have TPS, then you have to apply for travel document, then step out and come back. That way, when you come back, you will be paroled back for humanitarian reason because you have TPS valid. And then at that point, when your I-130 is approved, then you can adjust status, provided that you're not in removal, right? Can you qualify for withholding of removal? Based on what? This is just like a random question. We need more facts. Is it safe to go out and come back under Trump if you have TPS? If you have a valid TPS and a valid travel document based on TPS, then yes, you can step out and come back. People have done it before. So the question is, do you have a TPS? Because even TPS under Trump, maybe they're going to stop it. That's the problem. (601A). 601A, you see the requirement, right? If you're in removal, no, you cannot, you're not qualified for 6 unless the case is administratively closed. Okay, so we are just trying to answer questions, right? If somebody has a question, just put it in the comment. I'm just here to answer some questions and see if we can get it right. Okay, anybody else has a question? Let's do it. Let's answer a question. PIP is dead. Okay, so unfortunate. It's basically, I personally is blaming, I'm blaming the Biden administration for starting this program too late. Too late. They should have started earlier. That way they will have time to fight, to litigate, to litigate. Now that they are done, they pretty much lost the election. They're not gonna follow through with anything. Even if they file an appeal, who's gonna follow through with it? Nobody, because this coming administration, they are not gonna do any of that. So what is the solution? 601A for people who are not in removal, which we already talked about right there. If you missed that part, you can rewatch my video from the beginning, okay? So you will know what we can do. If the person's spouse is an active duty in military, will that be better, or the person still needs to travel before adjustment of status? If the person is in the military, they should file for parole, military parole. That person should file for parole. They call, what they call it, PIP, for military family. That way they be parole, and then they can use that parole to adjust status as a entry, like, you know, that parole will forgive their entry. That way they can adjust status. Just like the PIP that was the PIP that Biden tried to do, it didn't work out, but that PIP is still available, it's still valid for military family. So that person should apply for. By the way, Stevenson DS, I think you need to schedule consultation. Let me put the link here, because you might have a case, or maybe you already did. eBay is the reason. I don't understand that. Hurry. I didn't understand this. I don't understand that, what you said. Stevenson DS. Yes, Stevenson DS, please schedule a consultation. You are going to gain more from the consultation, so you can strategize what exactly you can do. Okay. Reason for the denial by judge for PIP, in your opinion? Oh, okay. That could be. That could be the reason. You never know. Yeah, it's just that, you know, what's happening is this, you know, with when people are in power, they're trying to stay in power. Okay. So what I think is that when the Biden administration came to power, they didn't want to deal with those undocumented people, because they wanted to reason for them to be elected, you know, Senate race, and you know, those races that comes 2 years after you're in power. So that's why they didn't do anything. So now that they're almost done, they're like, oh, let's try this. But it cost them. Um, and now that they lost, they can't follow through with it. And this coming administration is already hostile. They're not going to follow through with it either. So it's just like false hope. You know what I mean? It's just like we do not know what exactly to do. Okay, I guess this is it. We don't have a lot of questions. I guess a lot of people are probably at work or something. So we just have to be done here and come back later, probably tomorrow, to take more questions. Yeah, I still can't believe it. It's just like today we're waiting for them to lift the restriction, but unfortunately, it's just like you can't get a break. Yeah, so why the judge in IPF? Well, the judge said it's illegal. It's legal. He said that the president does not have that power to do that because there's already a path for it with the I-601A waiver. That's a path that Congress has provided for the people who come illegally. That's the path for them. But the fact that Biden came and created this new path, it's illegal. Yeah, it's going to harm a lot of people. So the reasoning is really weak, but he's the judge, he decides. Both sides made their argument, and then the judge decided. The bad thing is that because this administration is leaving power, they cannot follow through with the appeal. Even if they file an appeal today, what are they going to do with it? Because the new administration is not going to carry on with that appeal. Because the new administration is already hostile. They don't. That's not the problem because for them it's already illegal. So yeah, that's why we go back to the way filing the form I-601A. That's the solution, which most people don't want, but that's the only thing we have now. So yeah, yeah, that's just Jesus, this is crazy. One day we wake up, there's a news. Another day we wake up, there's another news. We wake up, there's a news. We wake up, there's another news. So this is it. All over. No, no, that's not possible. That's not possible. Um, it's when people have you have to go back the way it was when Trump was in power. You see, he came up with a lot of policies. Some of them worked, some of them did not, because technically it's not how you're still going to face opposition. Okay. So we're a country of law. So the thing is, some policies don't have to go through Congress because the president has executive power to do executive orders, to issue executive orders. But some executive orders too can be challenged in court. And sometimes when it gets challenged, it gets overturned. And then you have litigation. In order to remove somebody, this due process of law, unless the person has already been ordered removed, then they have the right to go and physically take them and remove them. But the thing is it costs them too. So they can't just go after everybody. They're gonna have to have some target, like criminals, okay, people with criminal records. They're gonna have to have some type of target, otherwise they're not gonna succeed, because a lot of people in the workforce are undocumented. Who's gonna do those type of other jobs that most Americans are not willing to do? So they have to take into consideration all that as well, like economy, how it's going to cost the taxpayers, stuff like that. So it's not as simple as he thinks. He tried to do denaturalization when he was in part. He didn't succeed. It's not as simple. Of course, he's going to deport, but it's not going to be like, we have like 10 millions undocumented individual, and some of them are in mixed families. Okay, he can't succeed with all of them. It's logistically impossible. Yeah. So he's gonna deport some people, but not everybody. It's not as easy. It's not simple. Stephen DS, what I'm suggesting to you, you just have to schedule a consultation, since you're talking about military family and stuff like that, so we can see what options is best for you and give you some strategy, okay? No, 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 no. It's not gonna happen. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna happen like you think. It's gonna be hostile, but it's not gonna happen like you think. That's not how it works. He's gonna face opposition too, in court, in everywhere, because you think like other people too don't want to be president. Other people too want to be president, so they're gonna stop him from a lot of things too, because after him, somebody else too want to be a president, not just him. Yeah. I'm currently waiting to apply for work permit. Am I going to be affected? Affected why? Why would you be affected? If you qualify for a work permit, you just have to, when time for you to apply, you apply. You're applying based on what? Do you have a case pending? Do you have a case, Anita De Souza? Do you have a case pending? Are you applying based on some cases that are pending? And what type? Based on asylum. Yeah, based on asylum, you wait for, if it's the first time, you wait for 150 days, and then you apply. If Trump comes and change the law, it's going to go back to the way it was. The waiting time was 1 year under Trump. Probably that's what he could do. then you wait longer. But other than that, I don't see any because a work permit is a right based on the case that is pending. The case hasn't been decided yet, so when the time comes, you apply. So let's say if Trump comes and change it to the way he put it back to 1 year of wait, then you just add more months to wait. So that's it. Would they rescind the 5 years? Yeah, that's really, I believe. I believe that's what he will do. That one, I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it because it's easy to do. He will do it, but the thing is, the people who already have 5 years will stay with it. But the new people and the people who have application pending, those are the ones who will be affected. And if he does it, then it's gonna go back to the way it used to be, 2 years. Yeah, that one, to be honest with you, I think he will do it because it's much easier to have a policy in place like that. Yeah, I'm pretty much he's gonna do it, but it's just gonna affect pending cases and new cases, not if somebody who already has it, because the law does not um, apply retroactively now. So if you already have your 5 years, don't worry about it. Yeah, he might do that. He might do that. He might he might rescind that, put it back to 2 years. He might go back to asylum waiting period of 1 year instead of 150 days. That he might do. Expedited removal, asylum ban, Muslim ban, and then the remain in Mexico policy. The border is going to be more restricted. And then his deportation plan, which is going to partially be done. So, but you know, it's a country of litigation. It's gonna just be litigation after litigation. Yeah, it's not that simple, and you know, got delayed for 8 months. No driver license, don't work it. Yeah, something around those lines. It's really hard for family. Yes, it is hard for families. That's why we told people do not vote for him, do not vote, but people won't listen. So now we're in back to the 2016. So, and this administration too, they should have done this, all those programs they came with, they should have done it on their second year. That way they had 2 years to fight in litigation. But no, they waited last minute. It's like they didn't even believe in it. So they waited last minute, and now that they're gone, who's gonna follow through? Nobody. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, but you know, we've been there before, right? 2016, 2020. Yeah. You're supposed to apply around January. Okay. What date? So anyway, if something comes, the way it does, it's gonna, if they haven't decided on your case, then it's gonna affect your case. If they already decide, it's not gonna affect. Let's say Trump comes on January 2020, and then they start implementing policies, and if your case hasn't been decided, then you'll be affected. But if your case has already been decided, you are not going to be affected. Yes, to be honest with you, it's just like stuff. As tough as tough. As tough as tough. It's really tough. I don't know if my case has been. I'm talking about the work permit case. Basically, what I'm saying is that once you apply for work permit, and if Trump changed the law to 1 year, and the work permit case hasn't not been decided, then you will wait, because it's going to affect pending cases as well. Then you wait, instead of 150 days, then you wait for the full year before they decide on that work permit. But if it didn't change the case, the policy, then you'll be fine. The only thing, if something changes, it's just like the waiting time becomes more. That's what I'm trying to say. But we don't know if it's going to change it. I didn't hear him talking about those things. He's just more on deportation and stuff. All right. So pretty much 1 hour. Let's just do what we can on our side, and remain hopeful, because it's already what it is. So let's just do what we can do on our side, and then remain hopeful. Because at this point, nothing a man can do, because he already won. So I hope he doesn't change. Yeah, I hope so too. I think he's not really concerned about it. He's more concerned about deportation. Yeah. So I hope so too. How long BIA take to make a decision? What type of decision? BIA takes forever. And there's nothing you can do about it. BIA, it takes forever. They can take 8 months, they can take 9 months, they can take 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. Nobody can control them. They decide when they want to decide. No, no, no. The law does not apply retroactively. It's applied moving forward. Yeah, it's the law is applied like forward, not retroactively. Yeah, so that's just how our law works. So people who are be affected if the policy changes are people who have pending cases, and the new applicants. Yeah. I'm supposed to apply for around mid-January. Yeah, that's good. First time applicant, they're supposed to decide within 30 days. Let's just hope that within 30 days you get your response. Yeah, they're supposed, first time applicant for asylum, it's 30 days. This is the new law policy. So if you apply around mid-January, around mid-February, you should get your approval notice. That's why you should apply online, for it to go faster. You should apply for your work permit online so it can move faster. And then they decide within 30 days. So if you don't if nothing changes, then within 30 days you should get. If something changes, then you wait longer. That's the only thing that's going to happen. You wait longer. Not like you get denied, but you wait longer. So that's it. That's the only thing bad that can happen. Hi, can you reopen your case with pending I-130 or and they're not gonna reopen it. They like to see an approval. At least you have better chance with an approved I-130. Yeah, you have better chance with an approved I-130 than a yeah, you have a better chance with an approved I-130. So if you try, you're just wasting your money. As a matter of fact, any good lawyer will not take the case to reopen with a pending. So can you come to the US when your approval is pending? I don't think so. If you've been order removed, you cannot come to the US unless you get permission to come to the US. Basically, you have to be paroled by ICE as to agree. You have to be paroled by ICE. And when the case is pending with BIA, it's not, the case is not open, and basically it's just pending with BIA after a decision, you have no way of coming back. So what we tell people, but they don't listen, we tell people, if you've been order removed, the best, because there's a post-departure bar, you have a 10 years bar. The best route to take is this. You wait at least 5 years. You think 5 years is a lot, right? But wait until the BIA maintain the same decision. Then after you wait for the BIA for 4 years, then to come up with the same decision, then you add more years, because that final decision becomes when you stop waiting. But if you have been order removed, let's say you've been order removed in 2020, and you wait for 5 years, in 2025, you apply what they call permission to re-enter using the form I-212, okay? And the waiver because of inadmissibility based on the bar of re-entering. If it's granted, right? Sometimes you get granted because you can show extreme hardship to the spouse. If you get granted, then you can come. But if you say, no, I'm going to reopen my case and try to fight for it, the case might be reopened. Maybe because you have I-130 approved, then you say, I'm going to reopen. But the thing is, you're outside, right? There is a post-departure bar. You're outside of the country. The case is reopened here. You fight here. You don't show up. You get order removed in absentia because you can't physically be here. And then you say, okay, now they deny it. I'm going to appeal to a BIA. BIA take like 4 years, 2 years before they respond. And most likely BIA is just still going to maintain the decision of the immigration judge. And what's going to happen is, instead of starting to wait in 2020, now you start waiting from 2025, because now you go with the last date of the order of removal. So yeah, bad idea. Bad idea. The best idea is just to wait a little bit and then try with the permission to reapply, filing the form 212. If it's approved, then fine, you can come. If it's not approved, you wait a little longer. Then you can reapply, and your bar has passed, you can apply. But if you keep like trying to reopen the case, if you don't have a strong argument, it's just going to get denied. Most people reopen the case because they want to, they had new evidence and they feel like those evidence are stronger, they can win. That's why they reopen. But if you just reopen because I have to adjust status, but you've already been removed, so the adjustment comes after, it's like it's not really strong. People with final order of removal are on the list of mass deportation. If somebody has been order removed, of course, they are on the list of deportation. It's just that DHS has not executed that order of removal. They haven't come physically to take a person and send them back home, because under Biden, if you don't have crime, you're not a priority. But what Trump is saying is that um, everybody will be a priority. He's gonna do it. But to be honest with you, it's logistically almost impossible to do it for everybody. I'm pretty sure they're gonna target some individuals, especially um, individual of crime, stuff like that. And then some people might be affected, but 10 million people, in remove them in 4 years, it's not to mention the impact on that on the economy. No, I don't. I doubt that it's gonna happen the way we heard. That's what I'll say. What happened if they are married to a U.S. citizen? If you're married to a U.S. citizen, you have to apply for adjustment. But if you have order of removal, how can you adjust? That's the problem. You have to try to reopen your case and hope it gets reopened so that you can adjust status. That's what we've been trying to do with those PD requests, trying to reopen all the cases. If you're lucky, get reopened, you adjust status. If you're not lucky, you start fighting. There's other stuff people do. They fight. They ask for stay of removal. They ask for defer status. So those are the things people ask. You see, in order to basically try to fight that. Just pretty much like negotiating with ICE. Then you be under supervision and stuff like that. I have a client who was order removed and she didn't leave in 2008. That was even under Obama. In 2008, they came. Um, at the time, I wasn't even a lawyer. So this is the story I'm telling after I met her recently. Now we're trying to reopen the case. But what she told me that she was ordered removed. She never left. And one day here in Maryland, actually in Silver Spring, Maryland, in Silver Spring, Maryland, they do really deport a lot of people. That's not the area to live if you live in Maryland. They came and they physically arrested her and detained her. They took her to Florida, okay, because they wanted to deport her because she was already ordered removed, right? That's what Trump was trying to do, go to people's house and try to physically remove them. Um, they took her, they brought her to how they you call that place, to Florida in detention center. She was detained in Florida, waiting for the deportation to be deported. That's when she got another lawyer in Florida. That's where they fight for deferred status, and she got the deferred status, and she stayed. So basically, they negotiated with ICE, and then she stayed. And now we're trying to reopen the old case, try to adjust based on a petition from her U.S. citizen child. Yeah, what is it? It's basically he's trying to the power that Congress give to exercise, basically to exercise force like military in terms of if you're it's basically this thing is basically when the country is occupied, like by the country has been invaded, right? That's when you use those type of thing. But he's trying to use it basically to get the military to do the job. Yeah, you can Google it to have more, but that's in short. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, basically to involve the military. Yeah, involve the military in deportation process. So it says here, under this law, the president could authorize the arrest, relocation, or deportation of any male over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. It's also supposed to provide a legal protection. It's not really nothing to do with, he's just trying to use it basically. It's basically when you have a war and you've been occupied, but he's trying to use it. I mean, you can Google it to have more ideas. But you know, yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. Yeah, they say U.S. citizen might be caught up in the net. A lot of pain. Yeah, it. The no. Remember when he came to power, he started the no tolerance policy, zero tolerance policy. Remember that zero tolerance policy where they separated people at the border. Basically, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of turmoil, but some people will be affected, but not 10 millions. It's difficult to affect 10 millions. Anyway, thank you very much. We 1 hour of talking. If anybody needs a consultation for guidance, please schedule it. All the consultation links are in the description box. We're gonna continue this conversation. We're just gonna come with practical tips and stuff like that. If we have good news, we'll share good news. Um, until then, bye bye. Thank you very much.